It is time now for all things current in California politics. It's been a very busy week counting ballots, figuring out who has made it to November. Let's bring in the editor-in-chief of Capital Weekly publication. It is Rich Eisen. Rich, it's going to be Hilton versus Xavier Becerra. If Democrats and Republicans vote their party preference, it's a huge advantage in this state, obviously, for the Democrat, Becerra. Yeah. I looked at the numbers. I thought Becerra might be able to win by 20%. I don't know if that's too much, but how does Hilton make a run here? What does he have to do?
Well, they both have extraordinarily strong support within their parties, both well into the 80 percentile. Now, what he's going to have to do, quite honestly, is something I don't think he's going to do, which is to separate himself from Donald Trump, because he is seen by many as the candidate of Donald Trump, because obviously the president endorsed him. I think he says there's things that he doesn't agree with the president on. He's going to have to emphasize those. He's going to have to emphasize dissatisfaction with the status quo. And he's going to have to present something that people believe he can actually do, which I don't really think he's done yet for a lot of people. And those are going to be his big challenges.
He did say something that I thought was interesting. He said, don't you want a governor who gets along with the president? Wouldn't that be good for the state? So we'll ponder that.
Yes.
Okay. So based on these two candidates, what kind of voter turnout do you think will be generated by these two personalities? There isn't an Arnold Schwarzenegger running who's going to draw from a large pool. Becerra, not necessarily dynamic. Maybe Hilton a little bit more so than that.
If the primary is any indication, we might actually have a better turnout than you would think, because the PPIC had it at about 34%. Others I know, Paul Mitchell, has it a little higher than that. Even at the lower number, that's the highest primary turnout since 1982 in the race between Tom Bradley and George Deukmejian. That's saying a lot. That goes back a lot of years. I would say with all of the changes wrought by Prop 50 and the possible change in the makeup of Congress at stake, I think you could actually have a decent turnout. Okay,
that would be good, especially for people down ballot.
Absolutely.
Right? I mean,
absolutely.
It's a lot more than just people running at the top. All right, starting July 1st, we're coming up on it. State workers are mandated to be back in the office 4 days a week. SEIU still pushing back on this. Is there anything now that we're so close that could stop this from happening?
Well, there's some legislation that is pending right now in the building that would require every agency to come up with its work from home plan, its remote working plan, which would give workers X number of days off. It could change agency to agency. We'll see if that gets through. There's going to be continued, pushback against the governor, but he ultimately has the trump card there. No pun intended, right? But he's got the power. Let's just put it that way. So we will see. This is not a done deal yet.
If you read the state worker text threads, this is a very persistent group fighting to stay at home mostly.
Yes, they want per diems, they want all kinds of financial allowances. I mean, my guess is there'll be some kind of the compromise that we see out of this, but whether the governor signs any such thing is, I'm still doubtful of that.
We'll wait for the 11th hour.
We will wait, yes.
Rich Eisen, Capital Weekly. Rich, thank you.